Welcome to our exploration of one of the most chilling and enduring mysteries in criminal history, the case of Jack the Ripper. On a foggy night in London in 1888, a series of brutal murders unfolded in the narrow streets of Whitechapel. These crimes would not only terrorize an entire city, but also leave behind a legacy of unanswered questions that still haunt historians, investigators, and true crime enthusiasts more than a century later. The air was thick with fear. Gas lamps flickered in the darkness. Footsteps echoed through empty streets. People locked their doors earlier than usual. Women feared walking alone. And the city of London slowly realized that something terrifying was stalking its streets. Who was this elusive killer who seemed to vanish into the night without a trace? What drove him to commit such calculated and horrifying acts? Was he a man of science, a butcher, a neighbor, or someone no one ever suspected? Join us as we descend into the dark depths of the Whitechapel murders. Together, we will uncover the grim details of the crimes, examine the lives of the victims, and explore the investigation that struggled and ultimately failed to bring Jack the Ripper to justice. Jack the Ripper is most infamously associated with 5 victims, often referred to as the canonical 5. These women were not just names in police files, they were real people, each with a story, a past, and a struggle to survive in one of London's harshest districts. Understanding who they were is essential, because before they became victims, they were human beings. Mary Ann Nichols was the first known victim, discovered on August 31, 1888. She was 43 years old and a mother of 5, separated from her family and struggling with poverty and alcoholism. She spent her nights moving between lodging houses, often unable to afford a bed. On the morning she was found, her body lay in the street, her throat brutally slashed and her abdomen mutilated. The violence shocked even seasoned police officers. This was not a typical street crime. It was something darker, something intentional. Just over a week later, on September 8, 1888, Annie Chapman was murdered. She was found in the backyard of 29 Hanbury Street. Annie was 47 years old and suffered from poor health. Her body showed clear signs of a violent attack. Her throat had been cut and her abdomen was open with organs removed. This crime marked a turning point. The brutality suggested a killer growing more confident, perhaps even enjoying the act. Fear spread rapidly throughout Whitechapel. On September 30, 1888, Elizabeth Stride was discovered. Unlike previous victims, her injuries were fewer. Her throat had been cut, but there were no abdominal mutilations. This led investigators to believe the killer may have been interrupted. Elizabeth's murder raised unsettling questions. Was the Ripper losing control or adapting? Only hours later, Catherine Eddowes was found murdered in Mitre Square. Her killing was far more violent. Her throat was cut deeply, her abdomen opened, and organs were deliberately removed and displayed. The escalation was undeniable. The killer was no longer hiding in the shadows, he was challenging the city itself. The final victim, Mary Jane Kelly, was found on November 9, 1888, inside her own room. What investigators discovered was beyond horrifying. Her body had been mutilated beyond recognition. The brutality of this crime shocked even the most hardened detectives. After her murder, the killing stopped, and Jack the Ripper vanished. Each crime scene told a story, a horrifying narrative of precision, violence, and confidence. Investigators noticed patterns: slashed throats, abdominal mutilations, organs removed. This suggested the killer may have had anatomical knowledge or at least familiarity with cutting flesh. At Annie Chapman's crime scene, personal belongings were scattered, indicating a violent confrontation. Yet there were no signs of panic from the killer. Catherine Eddowes' murder showed even greater confidence. The killer had time. Time to mutilate. Time to escape. Police struggled to understand his motives. Was this rage? Was it ritual? Or was it something far more calculated? As the murders continued, the Metropolitan Police faced mounting pressure. Detective Inspector Frederick Aberline led the investigation, working tirelessly with limited tools. There were no fingerprints, no DNA, no modern forensics. Witness accounts were unreliable. Crime scenes were contaminated by crowds. Every mistake pushed the killer further away. The public demanded answers. And when the police failed to deliver, fear turned into anger. The press transformed the murders into a spectacle. Newspapers printed graphic descriptions. Headlines screamed terror. Rumors spread faster than facts. The name Jack the Ripper became a brand of fear. Crowds gathered at crime scenes. Citizens played detective. Suspects were accused without evidence. Fear became entertainment and the killer became immortal. In the years that followed, dozens of suspects emerged. Montague John Druitt, a schoolteacher who died shortly after the murders, became a prime suspect. Aaron Kosminski, a Polish immigrant with mental health issues, was another. Some theories went further, suggesting involvement from powerful elites or even royalty. Each theory reflects not just evidence, but the fears and biases of the time. Jack the Ripper was never caught, but his legacy reshaped criminal investigation, journalism, and public fear. He forced society to confront poverty, violence, and the vulnerability of women. And his mystery endures because unanswered questions never truly fade. More than a century later, Jack the Ripper remains an enigma, a shadow without a face, a crime without closure. As we reflect on this dark chapter of history, we are reminded that justice is not guaranteed and that some mysteries may never be solved. What do you think happened? Who do you believe Jack the Ripper truly was? Share your theories in the comments below.